You wait till after I sync the sound, then you decide you want to pour a drink. This nigga.
You can roll it. Let's do it while we're rolling. You know what I'm saying? We can do it while we're rolling. You know, you can do the intro. I'll just be pulling up. I done got delusional now. I'm losing my shit. So.
Welcome back to another episode of the No Edge Podcast.
This is me crashing out.
I was in the middle of doing the intro and he decides he want to pull out the biggest bottle of fucking tequila I've ever seen. But I go by the name.
I'm crashing out, bro.
Of Rip 16. And this is Ty.
The fly jet.
The crash out jet.
Crashing out, bro.
Why are you crashing out right now in the middle of the intro like this?
We'll get into it.
Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Because we are at, what week is this? A lot of them now.
13? 14?
Week, yeah.
14.
Week 14 of the NFL season. And Ty's struggling to make it to the end.
Yeah.
But it's been very interesting. And I guess you just want to hop right into it since you done pulled out tequila.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. A lot to talk about.
But yeah, very interesting past week. Lots of upsets. Felt week one-ish, if you ask me. So might as well go ahead and get into one of our classic segments. It's a little segment we like to call Takeaways. Hey. What do you got?
Takeaway for me from this past week, you know, you got the holiday games and everything that happened on Sunday and whatever. The playoff picture is starting to get more vivid.
The playoff picture is shit right now.
It's starting to get more vivid. So you got, you know, some of the top teams on each side of the division of the conferences. They're kind of holding it down in the division, right? But then you got some action on the bottom end, those last couple spots.
There's a lot of action on the bottom end.
Yeah, there's a lot of action on the bottom end. You got the teams on the bubble fighting to get in.
I say this: 4 through 7 is not safe.
Yeah, 4 through 7 is not safe
on either side.
On either side.
4 through 7 is not safe.
Not safe.
They got to play it out. The good thing is for you all is that means that a lot of these games, what you might want to bet on, will continue to stay competitive.
Yeah.
So that means, you know, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Colts, the Bills, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Packers, 49ers, all those teams have something to play for. But you still got your Texans on the bubble, your Lions on the bubble, Cowboys back in the mix on the bubble somehow. The Steelers, you say the Chiefs are still in it.
They're still in it. If they beat Houston, and the Eagles beat the Chargers, that helps them out a lot.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. Just referencing what just happened, not even talking about that's coming up, and we're gonna get into that a little bit more. But out of what just happened, looking at those Thanksgiving games, let's parlay this into it. The holiday games, you got your Thanksgiving and your Black Friday, right? We just watched the Eagles come out here and lose. The Eagles did lose.
They lost on Black Friday. Yeah.
The Eagles lost by 2 touchdowns after A.J. Brown goes for 130. He's been asking for the ball. We've been looking for Jalen to pass it, looking for some more performance. And you still go out here and you lose by 2 touchdowns. Why? Because you gave up a whopping 250 yards to running backs. Swift had 125 yards rushing. And you would think that would be enough. Monanga had another 130 yards rushing against this team. You cannot be giving up 250 yards rushing at no point.
Not at home either.
Especially at home. and that was just atrocious.
Yeah.
But then, it doesn't stop there. I told you I told you. The Chiefs was going to lose to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Why? And I think I said it in the video. I said, what are the Chiefs going to do to stop CeeDee Lamb and NFL Youngboy?
Nothing.
And not a damn thing.
Can't
CeeDee went off, and Youngboy had another 70-something yard performance. Mm-hmm. Javonte had a decent rushing game. It was like you really didn't do anything to stop him. And them little trick plays, the Chiefs' cute little trick plays ain't really tricking nobody no more.
Well, the Chiefs, they don't get any pass rush on defense. They can't get off the field on third down. It's bad.
I mean, well, we've always done a lot of bigging up to Chris Jones.
Chris Jones ain't been Chris Jones of the past.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, why is there so much Chiefs? I feel like it's still a lot of energy supporting the Chiefs to win these games, right?
Because they're the Chiefs.
The Chiefs are going to these games as favorites. Mm-hmm. How many games have they lost?
6.
In a row? They've lost what? 3 now?
Something like that.
How are you still the favorite on a 3-game losing streak?
Because you got Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That's all you need.
It's a lot of respect on their name, and mm-hmm. respectfully, they have earned the respect what they are given. Yep. However, let's be real. I don't know about the Chiefs' performance as of lately. It's like they used to be just better than the other team by an edge or something, so they could come back and win these games, or they could kind of bullshit early in the season and go on a 7-game win streak or some type of crazy shit. And now it's the opposite. This is the polar opposite. You are on the verge of losing again, even though you're the favorite. Because let's be honest, the Texans are on a win streak.
Yeah. They're
on a 4-game win streak right now. And I don't know if that Chiefs defense is going to stop them.
The problem is not the Chiefs. The problem is part of the Chiefs defense, but offensively, they can't do anything against no pass rush or a good front four. They just can't. Patrick Mahomes out there running around crazy trying to find somebody to get open.
That's not the recipe. Patrick Mahomes is way too good of a passer for you to have him running that much. That's a problem. Like, he's running like he Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he's scrambling around, trying to extend plays, trying to make something happen out of nothing. He takes some unnecessary sacks sometimes this year too. I haven't seen him throw the ball away that much, so that hurts them too. So I don't know, man. They're broken for sure. They are broken, but they're not out of it. I mean, they're still in it, and they're still competitive in these games. So it's like they're just not on the winning side of them this year, but you can't count them out yet until they're officially out.
Well, they're getting
until then, they still got a chance.
They're getting dangerously damn close to being officially out. I'll tell you that, because right now, according to this, they got a 33% chance of making the playoffs, that's not good numbers. I'm just saying. But speaking of not good numbers, what's going on with the Ravens?
I think Lamar's still hurt.
You think so?
I think he's still hurt. He hasn't been accurate throwing the football. Like, he's been throwing the ball in the dirt, throwing it on the ground, just not on target with the football. Hasn't been running like we used to see him running, especially coming back since the injury. Hell, even throwing the football, he's been turning the ball over. Like, that's what happened on, Thanksgiving. He just turned the ball over too many times. Not protecting the football. He's not the same MVP Lamar that we saw last year.
The last 2 years, I feel like he's been a lot more accurate, and that's something he's kind of received some extra praise on, is improvements in his accuracy. But lately, even the games where they won, it's not like he's been playing that great to win those games.
It's just like, so with him not playing at his best, and, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So he has to play better. And in order for this team to make a run in the playoffs, it's going to be his responsibility to do it. So he got an opportunity to do it this week against another division opponent. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to see. Because that last division opponent, they let Joe Burrow come back from out of the shadows and just say, fuck it, I'm going to just play some football and have some
Joe
fun.
Burrow. Cincinnati's defense is what surprised the hell out of me in that game.
But you know what? Somebody else said that too, right? And I question whether it was Cincinnati's defense being that good or the Ravens' offense being that bad.
Both.
Because Cincinnati's defense has not been great. Let's just be honest. Especially when Hendrickson was hurt. Now, when he got back in, they played a little bit better because they had an improved pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know if it's that defense being that great as much as it is the offense being that bad. Having Joe Burrow back helps because it brings another element, but quiet as kept, with Flacco, they were putting up points.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow has a different element to his game than Flacco, probably a little bit more mobile. But all in all, the Flacco offense put up a lot of points. The defense was a difference, but I'm not sure if it was the defense or the Ravens. So that's just my perception. But the last one, though, the last one out of those Thanksgiving games was definitely the Packers and the Lions. It's a goddamn shame what happened to the Lions.
I think the Lions' window is closed, brother.
Might have closed on them.
It closed last year. They had their shot. They had their shot. And it's not looking too hot this year. They on the outside of the playoffs looking in. And it's not looking too good because they got injured Amon-Ra St. Brown, which is Jared Goff's go-to guy. Now you push up, Jameson Williams to be in that top spot, which he's explosive, but I mean, Jared Goff needs that third down receiver that he's confident in, and that's obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown. So without St. Brown, without Laporta, they're losing some pieces on the offense, man. That could be troublesome for the Detroit Lions to get into the playoffs.
And I do think, in fairness, I'm gonna give some credit to the Packers in this game. Also, in the absence of the St. Brown injury or whatever, the Packers did also do a pretty decent job of containing Jahmyr Gibbs. 3.4 per carry is pretty low for him, considering what he's been doing. Because last week he just came out and had
17, but 15 yards a carry he had last week.
Yeah, he just had 200 yards rushing or something wild.
It was like 15 yards per carry. That means every time you rush the ball, you get a first down.
Right, a first down and a half. So, I mean, I'll give the Packers some credit for that. But like you said, that Lions window, I ain't even have to ask it, but you brought it up. The Lions window might be closed on them. Yeah. And I think it's a lot to do with their defense. That secondary is almost non-existent some games. It's like they there, but they're not there at all, for real. Because, I mean, even when you do have those big games where you come out and it's like you have a huge monster game out of Jahmyr Gibbs and y'all are still struggling to win. And to me, that's kind of odd, that you're struggling to win when you got a running back with 200 yards rushing. That doesn't make sense. So turn around in this game, in a division game, where Jahmyr has 68. David Montgomery has another 32. So you have 100 yards rushing out of your backfield on 28 carries. These are not like crazy numbers or nothing for no team, but it's decent enough to keep you in a game if you have a solid pass attack. But the defense, unfortunately, is just giving up more than the offense can produce in some of these games. Yeah. And then also not having Ben Johnson as the coordinator anymore, I gotta think that impacts some of the play calling
for sure. I mean, shoot, they've been. I think they only won one. They won in 1-2 or something like that since Dan Campbell took over the play calling, or some shit like that. But credit to Green Bay, man. Micah Parsons, he showed up in the last drive, got a sack. Well, 2 sacks on that drive, actually.
Yes, he did.
And, their defense held up. They held up as much as they could. And Jordan Love, I've been, one of those guys that hasn't been a believer in the Packers. I've been saying it all
no
year.
love for Jordan.
But he played great. He threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Hey, kudos to Jordan Love. Kudos.
The fact that Jordan Love hadn't been playing that great or throwing that many touchdowns and he gets 4 against the Lions tells me a lot about the Lions secondary, though. Because he hadn't been able to do that against other teams. And this is a division matchup on the road. So, again, I don't know if that's as much as the Lions defense as it is Jordan Love having a great game. It's kind of a similar scenario as the Bengals and the Ravens. But it's a damn shame what happened with the Lions. They got to do something with that OC and they got to do something with that secondary situation in order to get back in the mix. But right now, it's looking like they're on the outside looking in and they're going to stay on the outside looking in.
That's what it's looking like because Green Bay and Chicago. Gotta lock that thing down, bro.
Last one that I do want to add on to that. What the hell happened with the Rams and the Panthers?
The Panthers are competitive, man.
They've been competitive for a minute.
They competitive. They gonna fight you. They gonna play.
They've been one of my favorite betting teams because they cover some spreads because they are very competitive.
They are competitive.
But again, at home though,
they
are even better at home.
Yeah,
they are inconsistent, but they are even better at home. And that defense, showed going against the Rams.
They take the ball away.
They know how to get a takeaway.
They take the ball away.
I mean,
that was what determined that game right there. Matt Stafford was out of sorts. He turned the ball over 2 or 3 times.
He threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
Yeah, he turned the ball over.
One of them a pick 6.
Yeah, so uncharacteristic of him, but credit to Carolina and their defense.
I give a lot of credit to Carolina because this man hadn't thrown a pick in 10 weeks.
Right.
And he threw 2 in the first quarter and dug him a hole for that game that they could not get out of because once the Rams got back in sorts and started scoring, Devontae, having another good game as far as 2 touchdowns, all these receptions, Puka's catching the ball. You start seeing the Rams look like the Rams, but the problem is the Panthers turn right around and score right back.
Yeah, Bryce been playing efficient.
He out
been
there
throwing
smiling.
the ball. Like I said, one thing, he's been efficient with the football. He ain't turned the ball over. He done found his guy in Ted McMillan. Yeah. I mean, that little combo right there is sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very aggressive as well. I think it was 4th and 2 or some shit. They threw the ball down the field. It was crazy.
Yeah, so I mean that was a big takeaway for me, just how they performed against the Rams out of all teams, because that offense was able to score a gang of points against a Rams defense that we have known pretty much all season to be very good, generate a good amount of pass rush. They put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Hell, they can get some takeaways, some good stops, create some 3rd and longs, but the Panthers was just converting. Every time they start getting some momentum, the Panthers come and snatch it right back. So I give a lot of credit to the Panthers in that game and how they performed. It was a very impressive win. And they put themselves they still kind of far down on the chart for a playoff spot.
Yeah, they're not going to make it. Well, I'm not going to say this. I'm not going to say that completely because they got 2 games against the Buccaneers.
They got a shot now.
And the Saints. They got to play the Saints too.
Yeah.
So they got opportunities.
You won 2 games against the Falcons already.
They got to handle their
division
business.
wins.
They just got to handle their business and they in.
If you can win these division games, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, because it's not out of reach for them.
No.
They still have an opportunity to win the division, which is major.
Yeah.
But
I can't remember the last time the Panthers won a division.
Cam Newton days, 2015.
Yeah. But it's definitely not out of reach. It's crazy, but it's not out of reach. So that was definitely a big takeaway. The Rams, y'all dropped 1 and y'all dropped down from the number 1 in the conference to number 2 after the Bears win. But you still first in your division. The Seahawks still on your ass, but you're still first in your division. Of course, I don't think that impacts them playoff wise. They in there, But you got to tighten up too, though, because you want to start getting some chemistry and start clicking and playing going into December, not dropping winnable games.
Yeah, but I don't look at it. I mean, they were competitive. They didn't get their ass blown out by the Panthers. Right. I get it. They came all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, playing in the rainy conditions. You know, conditions not favorable for any of the teams, but Carolina's at home. I mean, you can't expect everybody to win every game every week.
I'm going to say this, though, for the Rams. You can't expect them to win every game every week, but I can't give them that excuse because that's the same reason the Eagles beat their ass in the playoffs last year. He's talking about conditions and all that, and it's like, okay, how many times we going to give you the excuse of conditions? If you're going to be the fucking champ, then you got to learn how to play. Yeah. And wherever you at. And that's just facts. So I think this is a team that's constructed to try to win a Super Bowl. They're not trying to make the playoffs. They like, we know we can make the playoffs. We want a Super Bowl. So if that's the case, you got to win in some different conditions. You can't just be comfortable in SoFi Stadium and winning in the dome all the time and think that's just your out.
Right.
Fuck no. You got to win outside. So to the Rams, I still think you need to tighten up. Because, again, that was a winnable game. But speaking of all these teams losing winnable games and dropping down in the ranks and, you know, all these different things. So let's transition into another wonderful segment. A little segment all about contenders and pretenders. And we kind of touched on it, but I kind of want to elaborate in Besides the Eagles.
What tiki? You're right. What is that?
E-A-G-L-E-S. I saw a video of somebody spelled it wrong. E-G-L-E-S.
Them letters was kicking their ass. But but the Eagles is one team we could talk about on some contention and pretension too. But just to further elaborate, we did just mention the Lions window closing. Amon-Ra St. Brown, how long is he going to be out?
Day by day right now.
Okay. So it's not super major.
He should be probably a couple weeks though, for real.
So it's looking like the Lions going to be outside looking in. Now, going into this, we thought they was a contender. And now they looking very pretenderish. But who else is on that list for you?
Oh, contender, pretender.
The Lions is definitely on that list for me. Because even at full health, they just weren't doing it.
You're not going to like this. And we talked about it a little bit off air. But
go ahead.
I'm going with the Chargers, man, being a pretender. I mean, right now they're in a good spot. I see it. Okay. I mean, issue is offensive line. Like, they had a hot start this season. They started off, 4-0, 3-0 in the division, so forth and so on. But then they had some bad losses to some teams that I feel like they probably shouldn't have lost to. But injuries play a role in that.
The offensive line was injured.
Yeah, injuries play a role in that. Still injured. They happen to now they got injuries with their quarterback. Justin Herbert has an injured hand, just had surgery.
This is non-throwing hand.
I understand, but he's still day to day. They don't know if he's gonna play. But here's why I don't believe that they are gonna make the playoffs. They got the Eagles this week,
who are also a pretender right now.
Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. That's their remaining schedule. That's tough. It's not easy.
The thing is,
they'll be lucky to win 2 of those games.
I feel like you're saying that based off of history again. We're putting a lot of respect on Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's name, but they haven't played well. The only win they got recently was against the Colts. And you yourself said that you don't believe in the Colts.
I don't.
Never have.
I don't.
Because you said they beat up on some easy opponents and they was fool's gold.
Yep.
The Chiefs went into overtime with them and barely won that game.
But they won. Chiefs are broken, but they still won the game.
Okay, they won that game against a team that you said is fool's gold. Mm-hmm. So when I listen to you at the beginning of the season, I would think, oh, that's super tough. But then when I pay attention to what's going on lately, the Eagles haven't been playing that good. They just lost by 2 touchdowns at home against the Bears. Mm-hmm. Then they lost another game before that. They were scraping by against a pretending Lions team and won that. They put up, 16 points, 16-9 in that game. The Eagles haven't been doing nothing crazy.
Right.
Even when they won, they haven't been doing nothing crazy. Let's be clear about that. And then the Chiefs definitely haven't been doing shit crazy because they've been losing most of these damn games. Mm-hmm. Even with Rasheed Rice coming back and being a fucking monster.
Right.
They still haven't won the games. So my whole thing is the offensive line of the Chargers is the reason why they lost a gang of those games, what you were talking about, because they could not give Herbert enough time to get his receivers open. Mm-hmm. Bottom line. But defensively, they weren't necessarily terrible in some of those games. They just couldn't hold on to the ball offensively. Eventually, if your defense keep getting on the field, they're going to get tired. That's going to wear them down. People going to start scoring more points. It's a trickle-down effect. However, when I listened to you run down them games, I heard the Texans, I heard the Broncos, and I heard... what was the third team?
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys.
Yep, those
the Cowboys
are 3 teams. These
good.
are 3 teams that
the
you say are hot
defense
right
is
now.
good, and the Broncos defense is good.
Yeah,
I heard those.
Yeah, that's why I say y'all be lucky to get 2 of those wins.
But they won 4 division games already.
That don't mean
if
shit.
you beat the Chiefs, that means you won 5-1 in the division. If the Broncos fuck around and lose a game. Because they haven't been that great offensively. You just gave up 26 points to the fucking Commanders and went into overtime. But we also been talking about the Broncos haven't been that great offensively. Yeah, you living off that defense because they're getting 6 sacks. You got 3 guys with over 6
exactly what
sacks.
they need to do to win games, bro.
They doing what they need to do to close out and win the game. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
I get it. But the thing is, I don't think the Chargers are out of that. I really don't think the Chargers are out of that. That's another division game, which is very winnable. You don't play the Broncos to the end, which is fortunate. So you got to think that Herbert, whatever is going on, even if he sits out this Eagles game, you still think, okay, he'll be back before the end of the season. It's his non-throwing hand. So I'm not putting – that's one reason I'm not panicking on the hand injury. He's questionable. I'm trying to see if it's any updates that say the surgery went successful on his left hand this morning. And it just comes down to pain tolerance, whether or not he can deal with suiting up against the Eagles. But he's not ruled out against the Eagles game.
No, they're not going to rule him out. But
It's just pain tolerance.
They're not going to win that game. They're going to drop that game. And I think they dropped 3 out of the 5 at least. And there's no way they're going to the playoffs with that.
I'm not convinced they dropped 3 out of 5.
I am.
I think they dropped 2 of those.
They can lose to Denver, Dallas, and Houston.
I think they lose 2 of those.
I'm not sold on the Chargers. I think they missed the playoffs.
Okay, you said
because
the Chargers.
Of injury.
Okay,
they the most injury-ridden team on that damn AFC side right now.
Okay, well, it's a few weeks left, so I mean, if the Chargers are going to lose their playoff spot, right now the Chargers are 5th. Mm-hmm. Who's taking their spot?
Houston.
Houston taking their spot?
Yep. Houston can take their
spot.
spot.
So what about the Colts? The Colts staying in?
The Colts. And this is where I'm saying this is where the Chiefs will have a shot because the Houston can take their spot and the Chiefs can go ahead and take the Bills spot because the Bills probably move up to the Colts spot.
You're a Mahomes lover right now, brother. You got too much faith in them Chiefs.
They're not out today.
Hot take. Chiefs ain't making the playoffs. Hot take.
So you think they're not a contender?
I don't. I do not. Not now. Not how they've been playing. I think their defense is not playing well enough for them to be a playoff team. I just don't. Now you can feel free.
I think they've been playing better than the Chargers. Even though they've been losing games, they've been losing close games.
How have they been playing better than the Chargers? And the Chargers won.
Who the Chargers played? The Raiders?
And they beat the hell out of them.
Okay, the Raiders. All right.
And they also beat the Steelers.
The Steelers. The offense having Steelers. The Steelers that might miss the playoffs.
Okay, but you won by 2 touchdowns, though. It's not like they having close games.
The Steelers with a 45-year-old quarterback who looked like Marv from Home Alone.
But listen to what you're saying, though. You said the Chargers are going to lose a spot. The Chiefs have been losing. The Texans have been winning. Mm-hmm. The Texans, they beat the Steelers. The Steelers might not even get in because of their damn division.
They're not getting in. Steelers dropping down.
If the Steelers are
Houston
dropping down,
going in, Chargers dropping out, and
but you
the Chiefs
also said
in.
the Colts not going in.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Houston and the Chiefs are going to take the spot of the Chargers and the Colts.
Why are you convinced that the Chiefs are going to take a spot and they are 1-4 in their last 5 games?
This game against Houston will determine that.
And quiet as kept, the Texans probably about to beat the Houston. The Texans are really proud to beat the Chiefs.
They might beat the Chiefs. If they beat the Chiefs, then
they cooked.
Yeah, the Chiefs
They've been
are cooked. Yeah, they beat the Chiefs and they cooked.
We've been saying the Chiefs are cooked for a month though. If they lose, we said every week is must win. We said it 3 weeks and they lost. How many times are we gonna give them another opportunity to have one more must win game? They done lost the must-win games. They lost 3 of them bitches. Sorry, you're not making it. You lost 3 must-win games. What are we talking about right now? You talking about the Chargers schedule. Can we take a gander at the Chiefs schedule? Would you like to do that?
It's easier than the Chargers.
The Chiefs have the Texans, the Chargers. They have the Titans.
Easy.
They have the Broncos and the Raiders. The only 2 games on there which are highly winnable are the Titans and the Raiders. The Broncos will probably kick your ass. The Chargers have a shot at kicking your ass.
It's not guaranteed.
The Texans definitely have a shot at kicking your ass.
At worst, they'll go 3-2. At worst.
If they go 3-2,
they're not getting in the playoffs.
They'll be 9-8.
Yeah, they're not getting in the playoffs at 3-2.
If the Chargers go 1-4, they'll be 9-8. Mm-hmm. And they have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs.
That's what might happen, man. We'll see.
So what point?
We'll watch it shake out.
If the Chargers win one more game,
we'll watch it shake out.
They will have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs.
You're going to be upset, but we'll watch it shake out.
I'm not going to be upset.
We're going to watch it shake out.
Because honestly, what I think is going to happen, I think the Texans are going to take the Colts spot, and the Chargers are going to drop down, and the Texans are going to go up. Mm-hmm. But the Chargers are going to drop down to maybe 6 or even 7, and the Texans go up to 5. Mm-hmm. And the Colts drop out. And the Chiefs drop out. That's what I think gonna happen on that side. You ain't even look at the other side. We said a lot about this side, but do you think the other side
I think the other side is set.
You think it's set?
Yeah.
So you don't think the Cowboys getting in?
No. Cowboys not getting in. They too far behind. The only thing that can change is the 4 seed. The Buccaneers giving up the division to the Panthers. That's it. That's it. Other than that, it's locked. Detroit, unless it can get a little shaky with that division because they all play each other, I think.
Yeah, they do.
So it can get a little shaky, but
the Packers got the Packers have the Bears twice. Mm-hmm. They have the Broncos. Mm-hmm. They have the Ravens and the Vikings. Now the Ravens, winnable game, but maybe Lamar Jackson gets his shit together by then and they start playing better. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a harder game than it looks.
Yep.
And then I think they can beat the Vikings.
It's tough.
But it's also a division game. So you know how that goes. The Packers don't have an easy road for these last 5 games, especially with the Bears playing how the Bears playing. The Bears want to win the division. That's how it looked to me. Mm-hmm. They playing like they want to win. You got 2 running backs getting over 100 yards rushing in the same game.
They
look
running
like
the ball,
you want to
bro.
win to me.
They running the ball.
Caleb Williams making plays. Look like you want to win to me.
Yeah. That's what Ben Johnson was doing, bro. He said, we're going to run this football and we're going to limit the amount of plays Caleb Williams have to make. We don't need him making plays every game. Every play, every possession. We're going to run this football. We're going to be physical up front.
And I think the 49ers do stay in and win. The toughest two opponents they have are the Bears and the Seahawks. But that Titans-Colts game, I think they can win those. So I think I get what you're saying just because of the gap with the amount of wins. So I'm definitely on board with you on that. But I do think the Cowboys do have an outside chance at taking the Packers spot. It's a long shot, but they do got a chance.
Long shot.
It's a long shot, but the Cowboys do.
I'm not drinking on that Cowboys juice, bro. I'm just not doing it.
Hey, listen.
I'm not drinking on that Delulu juice. I'm not doing it.
Listen, I've been a long-standing non-supporter of Cowboys fans. Not the team.
Cowboys get 2 or 3 wins in a row, and they think they're going to the playoffs.
They swear they're going to the Super Bowl. They say we're winning the Super Bowl.
We back.
You're not back. Calm down.
Y'all just was about to kill Jerry Jones a month ago for letting go of Micah Parsons. Like, come on, man. In fairness,
they had every reason to do so.
Yeah, they ripped off some good wins. That's cool. It's cute, but
I think they constructed this team a lot better to set them up for next season.
Yeah.
However,
they're too far behind.
They might be too far behind, but things happen.
They probably about 3 games behind.
Well, that tie they had was actually with the Packers. Interestingly,
that could be interesting if the Packers go through this gauntlet and get their ass whooped, get beat up a little bit, and they end up with like a similar record. That could be interesting.
That's why I said it's an outside chance.
It's an outside chance,
but it is. But you're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, it's interesting though. It's that bottom part of the on the bubble, and boy, playoffs. It's that time. It's that season.
Speaking of that, let's transition. We're gonna forego a couple wonderful segments that we love around here today because it's so much to say in this upcoming week, as we've just so eloquently led up to. We're gonna skip out, clock out for me, big dog, because some of these teams still got some people that need to be clocked out that just haven't been clocked out. Atlanta Falcons. And we done said what we're going to say about the Giants.
Nothing else to be said.
I mean, Abdul Carter, they talking about some rumblings in the locker room, but we ain't got to get into it. Let's go into MustSeeTV.
Man, these folks got their hitties.
These folks
no
need
cap.
to see this shit, no cap. Now, going into this week 14 matchups, as we just sat here and rambled on and yapped about for all this time, it's some important matchups this week. It's a gang of them. And the reason why we're skipping by some of them other segments because we got a little bit of extra sauce we need to sprinkle and talk about. So the first one that's an important matchup, division game, Colts and Jags.
Huge.
Because the Jags just took the Colts spot.
Yep, ripped it.
They ripped the spot from the Jags. Went out there. I thought it would be a little bit more competitive, but the Jags actually went out there and dominated against the Titans.
Try to tell this guy, Titans are a bad team.
They are a bad team.
They should be 0-13.
They are a bad team for sure. But the Jags went out there and dominated. They did what you're supposed to do against a bad team. The Colts lost.
Yep.
Against the Texans in another division matchup, which we saw that coming.
Yep, saw it coming. Colts got a hard schedule.
They got it tough. A lot of the toughness is in their own division, though, to be fair. So, which we knew that. Starting off the season, we didn't really think this division would be this competitive, but it is. So I'm assuming you don't like the Colts in this game because you've been adamantly
the Colts are going to
Colts.
end up not in the playoffs. I think they're going to end up playing themselves out of the playoffs entirely. Listen to the schedule. You got the Jags. You got the Jags, Seattle, 49ers, Jags again, and the Texans.
That's tough.
Brutal.
That's tough.
Brutal.
That's tough.
You may get one of those games.
The
you
most
may go 1-4.
Honestly, the funny part is the most winnable game out of that schedule is probably this game.
Probably this game.
If I'm being honest, this is probably the most winnable. So the Colts are in dire straits right now for a win.
And the problem is Daniel Jones is playing hurt. He has a fractured tibia or some shit. Playing hurt. The Jags are good at stopping the run. What is the Colts' secret to success? Jonathan Taylor rushing for over 150 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
The Jags are one of the top teams that's slowing down the run and stopping the run. Whenever Jonathan Taylor rushes for under 100 yards, they lose the game. And the Colts they lost 3 of the last 4 or something like that. So they've been losing. They're on a losing streak.
I'm gonna say this about the Colts though. One thing that they do have that might be a bit of a saving grace is they have some wide receivers and a tight end who can make some plays. Like Alec Pierce can be one of those boom guys who come out there and give you a big play over the top, get open. Warren has been really good as a rookie tight end. So even if you can't get one of those huge monster games out of Jonathan Taylor, I think you just need a few key stop possessions on the Jags. Not necessarily that you stop them completely, but if you get a few key possessions where you stop them, get a 3 and out or one takeaway that turns into some points for you, you know, you still have a very good shot at winning that game for sure. Because the Jags secondary might not be able to deal with Warren.
Listen,
their formula to success has been running, but it's still some holes in that secondary where you can pass on them.
Yeah, you can pass on them, but it's going to be predicated upon how well they can protect the pass rush. Because the Jags got a crazy front 4. They had 2 guys that were out last week, Eric Armstead and Trayvon Walker. They were out, and they end up still dominating the Titans. They bring those guys back. That pass rush against the Colts is going to be a little vicious. So I expect the Jags to go out there and win. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a dogfight, but they're going to end up winning because the Colts know how important this game is.
Yeah.
They, like I said, they dropped the last 3 of the last 4.
Yeah.
They lost their spot in the division, sitting on the division throne. So they're going to come out with some intensity and try to play. But
and
they lost
Jags
Sauce Gardner. The Colts did.
That was big.
Lost Sauce Gardner, so they getting hit with a couple injuries here and there, and I just think the Jags gonna ultimately win. So I'm leaning Jags on that one, baby.
Okay.
The Colts gonna play themselves out of the playoffs, bro. That schedule is tough. Jags twice, Seahawks, 49ers, and then Houston.
Yeah, it's tough.
1-4 is probably what they'll be looking at. And if you're looking at 1-5, it could go 1-5. And they looking at 1-4, they out of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. The next one I'm looking at is the Steelers and the Ravens. Another important division matchup. Why? Because the Ravens came back.
Similar situation, kind of.
And took what was theirs. Very similar situation. The Ravens came back and took what was theirs. But the Ravens have also not looked great, as we talked about. So the Steelers have an opportunity to take back what got took. So who gonna snatch who chain?
I haven't seen. My problem is, like, the Ravens haven't been playing well. And it's not just the Ravens in general. It's Lamar.
Yeah.
It's Lamar. But even still, Pittsburgh offense, it's just not good.
They had a little bit of injury on the Ravens defense as well.
It's just Pittsburgh offense is just not good. None of their weapons on offense scare me. Like, none of their weapons on offense should put fear in anybody's eyes on the defensive side of football. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not the old Aaron Rodgers. Like, he's like an old man out there. Seriously, he should be coaching instead of on the side on the field throwing the ball. He's getting rocked, turning the ball over. He's not playing well. Him and his receivers are not on the same page. DK Metcalf is not that guy, like I said.
Oh, don't buck at me. Don't be bucking at me.
It's just not a good looking offense. The offense just look out of sorts. Like, nobody knows what they want to do. Like, do they want to run the football? Or they don't run the football. Then, like, what is their game plan? They don't have a game plan or attack. And I think it's due to Aaron Rodgers being old and not having the skills to move around like he used to create plays. And then also Arthur Smith is the play caller, and I haven't been fond of him since he was in Atlanta.
As a Falcons fan, listen, we are not fond of Arthur at all.
Yeah.
So
I have more confidence in the Ravens and Lamar fixing their offense than I do in Pittsburgh fixing what they got going on.
So basically, you looking at this is which team has less to fix, and it looks like the Ravens have less to fix than the Steelers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and not to mention the Steelers gave up over 200 and something rushing yards this past week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I haven't seen Derrick Henry going crazy.
Nah, he ain't been going crazy.
So I mean, I'm not OD concerned about that, but I mean, it is a spot for him to go crazy.
Yeah, the Bills came out there and ran down Pittsburgh's throat.
That's James Cook though.
I mean, they were running the same play over and over and over again, and the Pittsburgh couldn't stop it.
I mean, we talking about James
at home,
Cook.
You getting ran down. At home.
I mean, you hand the ball to James Cook 32 times. Yeah, he had 144 yards.
That's an indictment on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You got too many veteran players on that defense to allow that to happen. You got TJ Watt, Highsmith, Jalen Ramsey, Cam Hayward. You got big dogs that
Josh Allen had 38 yards rushing, and Ray Davis also had 62 yards rushing in that game, on top of the 32 carries that James Cook got.
Like 250 yards, bro. You can't have that.
No, you can't. You can't give up that much rushing. The Ravens are not a good team for you to have rushing defense problems against.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I do think the Ravens have a great shot at winning.
Yeah,
this
the Ravens
game
got a
for
better
sure.
shot for sure.
I don't love the point spread though.
Yeah. Even though the Ravens got beat by the Bengals, it was close.
Close where?
It was, well, no.
Close where?
They tried to close the gap, but
close to what?
they tried to close the gap, but it didn't close up. I try to give them some credit.
They got their ass gapped. What you mean? They got their ass gashed. Is what you mean.
14-32.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of them folks. Oh, close to what? Yeah. But anyway, I do think the Ravens can win. Don't quite trust the point spread is 5.5. I'm simmering on that myself. Mm-hmm. But another important matchup this week is the Cowboys and Lions. Now, these are two teams that are still considered on the bubble. Like I just mentioned, the Cowboys have an outside chance at making the playoffs, and I do think the Lions are not going to make the playoffs based on their division, based on what's been going on, based on how they've been playing. Mm-hmm. I don't see it. You're scraping by winning when Jahmyr Gibbs has 200 yards rushing, and that's not a good thing. Like, to me, that just is a terrible sign for the Lions.
And nobody has answers for Pickens and CeeDee Lamb.
None.
Nobody has answers for it.
I've been saying it for the past few weeks. NFL Youngboy is a monster, and we cannot forget about CeeDee Lamb because he's been one of them ones. Mm-hmm. And the Lions have a huge secondary problem. So if I'm being completely honest, I don't know why the Lions are the favorite in this game. If I'm being completely honest, I don't know why they're the favorite in this game.
Amon-Ra St. Brown may not be there. I don't know why either.
Yeah, Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? The other one that's another interesting division matchup, the Bears and the Packers. We alluded to this. Very interesting matchup. We seen Jordan Love come out and have an improved performance, throw 4 tutties against the Lions, though. But the Bears also had an impressive win. They won by 2 touchdowns against the champs. 250 on the ground.
This game, we're going to see who is really the big dog, because I know Chicago and Ben Johnson, they're going to come. Chicago. They're going to come out there and try to run the ball. We've seen them do that. And it's going to be up to Green Bay and that front to be able to stop it. I think one of the defensive linemen, Wyatt, got injured from Green Bay. He plays the inside defensive tackle, so that could be an issue. I don't know if he's going to be playing or not, but that can be an issue to stop that run game. But that's what it's going to be all about. It's going to be, is Green Bay going to be able to stop or slow down that run game from the Bears offense? Because the Bears, they use that run game to open up the play action to take shots down the field.
I don't think the Bears need to have as crazy of a rushing game as they had against the Eagles in order to beat the Packers. I think you need to have a decent run game, and they've kind of, Ben Johnson has kind of recreated his Lions backfield with Monangai and Swift.
Yep.
So I don't think he needs to have a crazy rushing game. I think they just need to have a decent rushing game, and I think the defense, has to get some 3 and outs and give Caleb Williams them a shot. Mm-hmm. I think Ben draws up some good plays against this defense. He's familiar with the Packers. He's played against them a lot. I think they definitely have what it takes to be able to win this game. We're going to get into that a little bit more in a second. The Packers are, I would argue, a heavy favorite in this game, and I don't know why it's so fucking heavy. Mm-hmm. But they are a heavy favorite in this game, and I don't love that aspect. But we'll dibble and dabble into that in a little bit more in a second. The last one, though, that I do want to mention, Texans and the Chiefs.
Big one. Big one.
This is my last opportunity. Is a shout out to Vuka. The Chiefs are hanging in the chow line, as we like to say on the episode of Good Times. And the Texans are on a win streak. Now the Chiefs are at home. That's one thing going in their favor. Now, them being at home hasn't necessarily translated into wins as of late, but that is one thing going into their favor. What are you expecting the Chiefs to win this game?
It's hard to expect them to win. Let's say that. Let me preface it by that. And the reason why is, and I've said this in previous episodes, is that Houston front four going up against the Chiefs offensive line. Because the defensive line of Houston's front four, they don't have to blitz to generate pressure.
But they will.
You got Will Anderson on one side, and you have my guy
Danielle Hunter
on the other side. Those dudes right there
and
alone.
Then you got my boy with all the O's. To'o.
So between that front seven of the Houston defense going up against the Chiefs offensive line, we've seen how well the Chiefs offensive line did not perform against defenses like that.
Yeah.
So that's what worries me, because when I'm looking at this game and I'm picturing in my head, I see Patrick Mahomes scrambling a lot.
Yeah.
To his right. I see him moving around in the pocket, scrambling a lot to his right. And yes, that's part of Patrick Mahomes' game, but that's not what they want to do.
Let me tell you something.
So I think, I don't expect them to win it. I expect it to be a competitive game. I can see this game being one of those games where 23-20 and the Chiefs end up finding a way to win some kind of way, because they have to.
Let me tell you something. Will motherfucker Anderson is going to be chasing after him like a madman.
Relentless.
And after he's chasing him and he's trying to get away from him, he's going to run into To'o. Relentless. He's going to run into Danielle Hunter. And when he thinks, oh, let me try to scramble the other way and run the other way, they going to chase you from that side to Will Anderson's side. I don't see a lot of good things. And if they do manage to get some protection on that play, it might turn into a cover sack, because Stingley and some of those other guys going to be right there in the secondary waiting. So, Andy, you're going to have to pull out your cutest plays you got for Rashee Rice this Sunday. I'm trying to tell you now.
He gonna be digging in that bag.
You gotta dig deep in that bag, brother.
But it's not about him in the plays. It's about that offensive line protecting Patrick Mahomes.
And that I don't have that much faith in.
Yeah, when you can rush 4 and get pressure without having to blitz, that means you got 7 people in the secondary.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, defending 5 receivers.
That's a problem.
So it's like,
yeah. So with that being said, it's going to be a very, very interesting week 14. It's a lot of games, so might as well do the honors and tell the people, what are your best bets for week 14?
Don't follow my bets this week. I get my ass kicked last 2 weeks.
You went 0-3, brother.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped.
I went 1-2 myself because the fucking Dolphins allowed the Saints to get a backdoor cover. Ugh.
But we're going to rebound. We're going to rebound. I'm at 16, 19, and 1.
We both had 16, 19, and 1. We were tied up.
Let's rebound right now, chat. So first bet of the week I got is the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers plus 6.5.
Love it.
Division game. Oh, my God. Division game. Running team. Good defense. I think the score is going to be a little close. We just talked about it a little bit, so I'm just going with the Chicago Bears plus 6.5.
Okay.
Dallas plus 3 versus Detroit. You spoke on this a little bit.
I've been preaching these Cowboys.
I spoke on it a little bit. You mentioned the defense on Detroit not being able to stop anything. The NBA young boy and
NFL young boy and YN Lamb.
Yeah. In NFL chopper. CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they are a problem. The Dallas offense is a problem. No Amon-Ra St. Brown.
That's a problem.
That's a problem for Detroit. I'm not happy about it. That's Jared Goff's guy. If Dallas could get pressure, it's a problem for Jared Goff all night. When Jared Goff gets sacked, it's bad. It's really bad. So
Quincy brother gonna be in the backfield.
Yeah, and especially if he can push up in the middle of that pocket like that, it's a problem for Jared Goff.
Big problem. He's not that mobile.
Yeah, so give me Dallas plus 3. And then lastly, I'm gonna take the Cincinnati Bengals 5.5 versus Buffalo.
Joe Burr.
I think that the Cincinnati Bengals got enough offense they can score. They may not win the game, but they can backdoor cover for sure.
Yeah.
So they'll put up some points. So they'll be able to. The Buffalo defense is still. I'm not sold on it yet. You know, they haven't. I mean, that was Pittsburgh. They was playing against Pittsburgh's offense. Come on, a non-identifiable offense that they was playing against. You know what I'm saying? So give me the Cincinnati Bengals plus 5.5 against the Buffalo. Chicago plus 6.5. Dallas plus 3. Cincinnati plus 5.5.
Okay.
And we rebound in chat.
I can get behind. Those some bets I can get behind. For mine, I'm gonna try and take it up a notch. Try and get all the way back on the winning side. Tired of going 1 and 2, so let's get right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this first one. Now I understand that this might be a little shaky, but I'm gonna take the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 5.5 versus the Baltimore Ravens. Why? Because the Ravens haven't been playing that fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
For one, it's a division matchup. Mm-hmm. For two, it's a lot of familiarity. And then I'm something in my spirit tells me that DeCallan Zacharias Metcalf, you all might know him as DK Metcalf. I feel like he's going to come out here and shut you the hell up. I think he's actually going to have a solid game against the Ravens, especially if Hamilton is still out in the secondary. I think he has a solid game. And I think it's enough for them to at least cover 5.5 because I feel like that's too many points for these two defensive teams with a lot of animosity against each other. The next one I'm going to take is Houston plus 3 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I actually think Houston probably wins. As I said, I think the Chiefs have just not been doing enough. And for that reason in particular, I think that the Houston Texans have a great chance of actually winning this game. And they are indeed fighting for a playoff spot. I do think it will be competitive, as you said, because both teams are trying to fight for a playoff spot. However, I'm giving the edge to Houston just because they're on a win streak. They hot. Their defense is very good. And the Chiefs' offensive line is not very good. And they have been losing or having close battles with teams that you should not have close battles with if you are a true playoff team. And for that reason, give me Houston +3. Lastly, I'm going to go with the lesser of two evils on this one.
I'm not mad. I was going to go that way.
You took my +6.5 with Green Bay. But I'm going to go with Cleveland -4 versus the Tennessee Titans. You said that the Titans are abysmal. They should not have won any games.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
The Cleveland Browns with Shador. He had a little slight injury. Dylan Gabriel came in for a play. I think he'll be fine though.
Yeah, he's starting this week.
He's starting again. The Cleveland Browns defense is probably just going to be way too much for the Titans. I expect it to get a little ugly at some point where they get a takeaway, they get a turnover, they get something. Myles Garrett is going to be chasing after poor Cam Ward, and it ain't a damn thing that they can do about it.
No.
So for that reason, I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns -4 versus the Tennessee Titans. So
I like
Pittsburgh Steelers +5.5, Houston Texans +3, and the Cleveland Browns -4.
I ain't mad at it. I can get behind it.
All right. Well, we might have a teaser alert. We'll see. But one more thing before we get out of here. I know we done a lot of yapping today. But one last thing. These folks still got to know.
What they need to know?
Who's the dog of the week? Who? Them dogs been barking.
Yeah.
Last week, we had the Cowboys and the Texans, and them dogs was barking. So that brings you to a grand total of 6-6 on your dogs, and I have inched up to 4-8.
Yeah.
So who you got?
We're going to keep this thing going. This is the second week in a row, right? We done got, I think 2 in a row. Anyway, we're going to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, we both went 2 in a row.
Yeah.
We both went 2 in a row.
Yeah. So this week, Jaguars. Duval. I'm taking the Jags this week, man. Underdog. I don't know how they're underdog against the Colts. Colts, when they play better competition, they seem to fold. Talked about it a little bit earlier in MustSeeTV. But I think the Jags are going to come out on top in this one, in a close one. But I think they upset the Indianapolis Colts. I think Vegas is still on the Colts, thinking that they're a good team. But nah, Vegas, they're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. They will miss the playoffs.
I'm not mad at the Colts dropped the ball against a gang of teams. I do think out of all their games, though, this is probably the most winnable game that the Colts have on their remaining schedule based on how the teams are as is right now. But the Jags definitely got a great shot at winning that game, so I'm not mad at you.
I like me a good home playoff team dog.
Good home playoff dog. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, my dog this week, I got to run it back. Give me the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys again? Now, you cussed me out when I said they was going to beat the Chiefs. You said, I hate it. Made all type of faces, facial expressions.
They disappointed me,
all
man.
type of stuff.
Chiefs did me dirt.
But I feel like the Cowboys going to do the Lions dirty. That secondary is bad on that Lions team. And this is probably the worst team in the NFL to play against, maybe next to the Seahawks with JSN right now. You just don't want to have a bad secondary going against that Cowboys team. NFL young boy is a monster. I think he has 100 yards receiving. CeeDee Lamb, he might fuck around and have another 100.
Yeah.
You're not about to stop him. And then Javonte Williams can still generate a decent amount of rush so that it opens up the pass even more because you still got to play the run. So I think and then we've been doing all this talking, and we keep not talking about Jake Ferguson. Like, my whole thing is it's too many weapons.
Too many.
It's way too many weapons for that bad Lions secondary.
Yeah, and Javonte Williams that pass game opens up the run game.
And Dak has been managing that team offensively masterfully over these last few games. He's done really well. The offensive line has been giving him enough time to hold up to get his passes off, get his guys open. And for that reason, I just don't see the Lions winning this game. I don't know why the Lions are the favorite in this game, so give me the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? But that's all we got. So make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Stay locked in with us. Drop the slip. I've been trying to tell y'all, hop in on Onyx Odds. They still giving away 4 free $25 bets when you deposit $10. You getting $100 worth of bets for $10. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. That's just a great deal.
It's called free money.
It's free money. And, I mean, y'all been out here shopping for Cyber Monday and Black Friday and all these other things, and then you missing out on a great deal after all this football you've been watching. So, like I said, tap into that. Hit that link in the description. You do that, I'm going to add you into our group where we dropping our personal slips. Drop the Slip is active. We dropping plays in there. And there's been some very good winning bets coming out of there, both basketball and football. So, with that being said, anything else you want to tell people?
Hey, people, we are almost to the end of the regular season.
For sure.
Stay locked in. Stay tapped in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Keep commenting.
For sure.
We appreciate the support and the love. But until then, you know how we like to end these pods.
Yep.
Parlays.
Making money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay because I need that money today. So I hope y'all enjoy. Stay warm. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. Hope everybody stays safe. And we're going to keep on rocking because we got a lot more bets to win and a lot more money to spend. So we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
From the Middle East.
Young niggas say got a whole lot of money, I ain't never seen a young nigga with it. Look, big capping, talk capping, small capping, ball capping. I don't know what happened. All I see is a bunch of fake ass, cap ass, rap ass niggas who act like they got 10 figures. Most of these niggas be capping, they swear that they captain and shit win the Oscar for how they be.